celebration of the literary arts here in Saskatchewan. Today, I'm very pleased to welcome my friend, Damien Bartlett. Damien is an artist in so many ways. I've worked with him on the stage, backstage. He's a writer, he's very talented, and he's a big encouragement to a lot of people in the creative industries in this town. So Damien, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we're here today on Lit Happens to talk a little bit about what you've been writing lately. And
Yes.
You have been writing something very interesting.
Yes, I have been.
So tell me, let's just start. Let's step back before we get into the current projects.
Mm-hmm.
Let's step back and just tell me a little bit about some of the writing that you've done that's sort of been the stepping stones to get you where you are today.
Stepping stones that got me here today. Okay, so probably a number of years ago, I remember I was working a very dreary job. I was price checking, and the people who I saw the same people every day. It was at like a bulk warehouse type thing, and they just the looks on their faces just sort of like really stuck with me. Like and so what I started writing, what the images that came to me, it's dreams are a big informative for me. I started having dreams that these people were dead, but they didn't know they were dead, and then the crows started showing up in the dreams, and then as well this strange girl who could speak to the crows appeared as well and started having conversations with me. My characters are very talky. They'll just walk in and say, "Damien, I've got something to say." So that's kind of like a little bit of the background about how this story came to be. And then I started working with my writing team who, because at that point I was like, this is much bigger than me. I need other brains to help me look at it and to flesh out the entire world. So, yeah.
Well, and if you have a character that's being talky at you,
Mm-hmm.
what better genre to work in than screenwriting? Because you could have written in short story, you could have written in poetry, but
Mm-hmm.
this is the tack that you're taking at this time.
Yes.
You're going down the direction of screenwriting.
Now, I actually started, my writing process started in poetry, actually, and then went to short stories, and then playwriting, and then screenwriting. So there has been an evolution that's been leading to that. I still love doing all of those forms. This is where I'm at right now.
Well, and we find ourselves moving between genres sometimes
Mm-hmm.
in our life. And it's finding that place that really is the loudest call in our head at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about Crow's World, the first.
Okay. So back in 2017, the writing team, which is the Land of Darkest Skies, Creative Works, and as well as my friend Levi, who was putting together Myriad Entertainment, that's his film company, baby, where he was asking me, do you have a little something that we could put together to sort of showcase the work that's in Saskatchewan? Because we wanted to start really creating stories that would move forward. And I was like, I don't know. And then like a week later, it just came out, at least the first part, and it's been an evolution ever since then. It's a science fiction, supernatural, heroic horror that takes place in an alternate world where Tesla's technologies was chosen over Edison's, and the world moved much sooner to natural energies such as solar over fossil fuels than in this one. But everything is not quite as it should be. So it's a gilded gold cage utopia, if that makes any sense.
It sort of sounds pretty dreamy, but you know, there's always that darkness under the trees.
There is, yes, and it's a lot about sort of this story takes place in the world before Crow's World, so it sort of sets this is the world that was to set up for the world that will be. So yeah.
And you've had other projects with this writing team. You folks have been working really hard.
Oh yeah, no. The writing team has been great. We will spend hours, although we've been really busy lately, but everyone is still doing work everywhere. But we try to come together at least once a month, although it's not been as much lately just because we've been so busy, to help discuss our projects. Bryn is very much into comedy and horror. Darren is very much like rom-com, although he has a beautiful horror comedy that I adore that I would like to see on the screen someday. And Brian is a lot of speculative fiction. He has a wonderful story, alternate story to Santa Claus that I hope someday gets made because it's delightful. So yeah, we all support each other, and everyone's the captain of their own project. So my job is to help support them when they're leading the project and help expand the vision out of the story as much as possible. So it's sort of like the version of dramaturgy except cinematurgy, if that makes any sense.
And it's interesting because you folks, you have big dreams, and you are making things happen, and you've done things like you've gone to Banff to connect with people from all over Canada, all over North America.
Yeah. No, we went to Banff, and that was such a cool experience. And then now we're just sort of in the process of getting our feet more. I'm learning marketing now, for example. I've got some executive producers who've got some really great ideas about how to reach a larger group of people and get the story out there. One of the things that's very important to me, Danica, is that we have incredible talent here, like in so many ways, and I don't want that talent to be passed over geographically just because somebody's from Vancouver or Toronto. It's not that they're not lovely talents, but oftentimes the talent here gets ignored, and I want to lift up Saskatchewan talent and showcase that and saying, listen, we are amazing here, and that deserves to be seen. So, yeah.
Well, and we found so many times that our best and our brightest are moving. Instead of just getting the people from those other places, our best and our brightest are going to Vancouver or Toronto because that's where the work is.
Exactly. So part of the purpose of this is also to create that opportunity to attract that opportunity here so that we have the artists stay here. We used to have like artists, and we still do have incredible artists. It's just that we need to recreate the infrastructure that allows them to shine.
Yeah, and you help people shine, and that's one of the things you do with encouraging other people to live their best creative life.
I will shine on people all the time because you get farther with friends, and everybody does better when everybody does better.
And I think that's one of the things that's fantastic about the creative world in our province, in our city, is that it's less competitive than it is really collaborative. And even if we're not working on the same project, there's such opportunity to support each other.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing about you saying competitive, because a thing I learned years ago is that the only actual competition is yourself. Like at the end of the day, you could be like, I competed at an event where there was like 5,000 other actors, and I went in going with the knowledge, nobody does D like D does D. Nobody is going to be me, so I just have to be the best version of me. So that's why I always shine on people. It's like, I don't, like, maybe they might seem like they're my competitor, but that's not true. They're somebody who has a unique view of the world, and I want to help them showcase that to the best of their ability, because we'll all benefit.
And so I'm so pleased to see that you're getting support, and that you're doing these projects that are really interesting, and they're made here, and they're something to be really proud of.
Yeah. No, I'm excited by all of those things. Yeah.
Well, 8 minutes goes by really quickly.
Yes, it does.
Thank you so much for being on the show today, Damien.
Thank you for having me here, Danica. It's been awesome.
This has been Lit Happens. You can find past episodes by going to Shaw TV Saskatoon on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you have an idea for a segment, please contact me at danicalorer@gmail.com.